word why Prabhupada is using the word although in this thing, in this verse, in this translation. And the other point also which we discussed, there are two questions that which we discussed. So that is something which uh, the first point, of course, is that the first question we asked was whether Narad Muni knew of the transcendental qualities of the sadhus in his previous life itself, or in after becoming perfected in as Narad Muni. So that was another important question which we discussed, which we raised last week, and we got wonderful answers from devotees. So what we will do is that we will read further. As I told you, each of those questions which each of the answers which we received from everyone is they are very sweet, and they are all authentic by itself. Why it is authentic, even though it looks a bit different to each other. There are different points of view of the same thing. Why the same thing? Because the causeless mercy was given by the Bhakti Vedantas, which means that the causeless mercy itself means there is something extra that is being done more than what you deserve. So what Narada Muni is telling here, in the essence of all these things I am talking about, all the points we all would have discussed, so there is no need to bring it up again. We can read through those points. But then one thing that I really found is a common thread across all the different points of views is that mercy means we get that which we don't deserve. So anything that is given undeservingly, or that which we don't deserve, is given partially only, if you have to call it that way. Partially in the sense, some special. It is not partial. Rather, partial may not be the right word to use, but it is something, a special consideration is being done. And if you look at all our own situations also, in our way, whichever way we had come to Krishna consciousness, there will or sustaining in Krishna consciousness. At every point, every juncture, we will always see that this element of causeless mercy is the only thing that is pushing us forward. And if you are not able to appreciate that point, it is very difficult for us to appreciate or taste devotion, taste the nectar of bhakti. Unless and until we see at every juncture, I don't deserve this. I have given more than what I deserve. So Krishna has shown some partiality to me. Partiality means I know you don't deserve it, but I still give. I am still giving it out of love, out of maybe I see some sincerity in you, so I'm just giving you. That is how he's doing. So the point here, we have to appreciate one subtle point which we have to appreciate, which is common thread across all the different points of views that were discussed. That Narad Muni really appreciates the special love and mercy that the Vaishnavas have shown. And that is the only reason he feels very much grateful to all those Bhakti Vedantas. So that gratitude is a very, very, very important point for us to appreciate. That is the important thing that we learn here from these points. And the other point about whether he knew earlier or whether he appreciated it only when he became Narad Muni, your answers were mostly leaning towards he understood it in his previous in his life as a that young boy, maid servant boy, of son of a maid servant itself. That is correct, because in the next verse which we are going to see, he very clearly says that the nature of the transcendentalists I became attracted to the nature of the transcendentalists. So by association with them, he appreciated the nature of the transcendentalists and started following them very sincerely. But however, having said that, it is not one-time event that understanding or appreciating the qualities of a saintly person is not a one-time event or a dot in our the flow of our life. It is a continuous progress where you keep increasing your appreciations gradually every day. You understand what I'm saying? It's not like one day only I realize and then the rest of the days I don't. It's just stagnant there. No, the appreciation that we have for Guru, for saints, acharyas, and all will keep flowing and it will keep increasing. That to the extent we are following their instructions and serving them sincerely, and vice versa. The more we become grateful, the more we will like to do service again and again and again and again and again. So it started in his previous life itself, but it kept going ahead gradually, more and more and more. That is why when he comes back as Narada Muni towards Vyasadev, he is even more able to appreciate that very much. So this is where what happens, no? Like we all also go through these things, like we meet our spiritual masters or some senior Vaishnavas who gave us this initial seed, and then we come, and then we start going one by one. At every stage, Krishna will arrange different devotees to or some living entities to give us the favorable push in our journey, you know. And we have to keep appreciating that and keep appreciating Krishna and Guru as for thanking them for sending us these people wherever we are. So the more we progress in devotional service, the more we should thank our spiritual masters and Krishna and any devotees for that matter for keeping us in this journey, because it is not easy to stay on in this journey. It is easy to come and go, but it is not easy to sustain in this journey, you know. So very difficult. Mind will freak out in so many different ways. So many attractions are there. Our vasanas are there. It just keeps dragging us away from bhakti, right? So this is where that consistency and steadiness comes by our consistency, steadiness, and our intensity comes by our constant appreciation of that mercy that we got. About 20 years ago, one devotee gave a book to me. If not for that, I would not have come. So that, like that, at every moment we should be thankful, and that's what really makes devotional service live. Make it. It brings it to life. Otherwise, our activities and devotional service will be like decorating the dead corpse. That's what many times it is told. So Narada is teaching us this very important quality in these two verses. So that is also understood. Started, he could appreciate significantly in his previous life itself, because in this part of the 10-15 verses that he is going to speak, he is going to talk about his life's this thing, right? How his life progressed after meeting those Bhaktivedantas. But in the 6th chapter, it will continue further, right? There you will see that in that story, he was even more grateful when he started following the process. It's not enough just to hear and keep quiet. It's more important to follow the process that they have given us. Only when we follow the process sincerely, like see, very simple. Like we have been discussing Bhagavatam, this chapter for some time, and also different topics. But what happens is those who take it seriously, the message was discussed, and then go home and meditate on it a little bit more, they are able to appreciate it and share their realizations more easily in the group, and or even share the points with others or talk about it, etc., isn't it? So that is where the putting that thing into implementation is very important. So let's, with that, with that point, we actually, this story is cut into two halves. We will be really blessed to read this the entire thing and understand so many nitty-gritty points that we learned from Narad Muni here. One side is his instructions, another side is his own practical. He is teaching us through his own practical life. So this both go hand in hand. How by following the principles of Bhagavatam, he was able to succeed where he was as a maidservant's son, and where he is Narad Muni as the Acharya of all the sampradayas, the authority of the Bhakti path, Bhakti Marg itself, the supreme authority of the Bhakti Marg. So he's, through his own example, through his own story, he is telling that from anywhere you can go to anywhere in Bhakti Marg. That's the beauty. Okay, so let's read the next sloka. Here is now, as we discussed, we read through these 6-7 slokas last week, and or last week, rather, and we said there is a sequence of things that happens. So we can see how nicely it is going through. Now he is telling, he was just moving around with his mother. Wherever his mother was going, he was going. When she comes home, she comes. So he had no other shelter other than his own mother. So my mother was sleeping and he was standing and he was also taking things out and keeping. So the Bhaktivedanta, the rishis, they were thinking, okay, maybe we can engage him in some seva. So they engaged him somehow or other. And also from his point of view, from his side, not his point of his side, as far as I was concerned, I was self-controlled and had no attachment for sports, even though I was a boy. In addition, I was not naughty and I did not speak more than required. These are the basic qualities that was there inherently in Narad Muni in his previous life, right? So apart from this, Prabhupada writes something very interesting here in the purport. I'll tell you where it is. Yeah. So the Vedantavadis initiated the boy even before he became self-controlled and was detached from childish sporting, etc. So this line indicates that Prabhupada is indicating a point here that by the mercy of the sages, he acquired these qualities, right? In addition, I was not naughty and did not speak more than required. These are the other two qualities. So, but then Prabhupada writes in the very next statement, but before the initiation, the boy became more and more advanced in discipline, which is the very essential for one who wishes to make progress in the line. It's very important. Actually, again, see, this is something we should be very thankful that Prabhupada has given these purports, because this is Narad Muni is having these qualities, propensities for these qualities, but they became more and more mature and pakka as he started getting the association of the with sages, right? So that is another important thing we should note, that the outcome of initiation or our surrender, more than initiation, our surrender to the spiritual masters is a transformation of our character, not simply getting some new talents. So, talent is different. Skills or talents, that is different. But our behavioral characters, our nature, it transforms. Just like Prabhupada gives the example of how this mercury, something in combination with something, it turns into gold. Or there is a beautiful verse also in that in regard to that. Prabhupada says that you combine mercury with something and then it becomes gold. That is how the disciple also, when he takes that diksha, when he surrendered to diksha, actually means from today I am my spiritual master is my worshipable deity and my guru. Excuse me. So the day we, yes, Suresh Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, that child life before that also that preparation has gone. The something input has gone in the previous life, isn't it? For this quality to acquire in such childhood.
Yes, Prabhu, you are right. You mean a Supaparhana from there when he came down to, in his previous life as Upaparhana. I think yes, it continues. It definitely continues from there. So whatever you acquire from the previous as qualities from your previous life is also thing. But in Kali Yuga, in Kali Yuga, the point is that even if there is zero good quality in us, still Krishna is so merciful. I mean to say, from the previous life, there is nothing has come. Still, Srila Prabhupada and our Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and they have created such a wonderful atmosphere that from zero also we can go. We can go forward. In Narad Muni's case, yes, because we know his past lives, it is we understand that. But if we don't have any account balance, our account balance is zero also, still there is hope in Kali Yuga.
Yes, Prabhu, thank you.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you. So this is very important. See, in the next line, he is telling, so but before initiation, the boy became more and more advanced in discipline, which is very essential for one who wishes to make progress in the line. So there are 2 points here. One thing is that when we read the previous line, it also shows us, like we saw last week in our Prabhupada Smaranam discussion, no, that Prabhupada initiates one boy from Netherlands, an architect from Netherlands. He comes with long hair. He just saw Radha Krishna deities in the temple there in Amsterdam. He said, "Oh, this need to have its roots in India, otherwise they are bogus." So he wanted to come and see in India. So he flew to Bombay, and there in Bombay they have not even started anything, but then they were worshipping the deities there. So they are not well known anywhere. Just a small group with in those days with the Radha Krishna deities and the thing, some fight and foreign devotees. How they will respond? Is coming. I don't know who's calling. Put it in do not disturb mode. Also keep coming. So that person, he comes, and only thing that he had was he wanted to see Radha Krishna deities. That's all. And he comes and he meets the devotees. He knocks the doors of the devotees who are staying in a flat. The entire Bombay is so big. In that, from some corner, somebody is coming from Netherlands and knocking the door and asks, "Is there Radha Krishna deities here?" And then he's included into the group, and he goes meets Prabhupada, and Prabhupada is surprised to see a Western man in India. And he knows his Western disciples because there were not so many in the early days. So he says, "Look at this person, hippie kind of person," and he says, "Who is he?" And then the other devotee says, "Prabhupada has come from Amsterdam. Only he wanted to." Oh, nice. And then somehow he comes to know that he's an architect. And the next day he is given the paper, the chart, and the pen to draw the architecture diagram of the temple. The following day he is shaven and he is initiated. That's all. Finished. Imagine, where it is coming from. Can you imagine an initiation like that. That's where I really appreciate this thing. Prabhupada initiated so many souls like that, when you see, so the Vedantavadis initiated the boy even before he became self-controlled. Even before he became self-controlled and was detached from, initiated the boy even before he became self-controlled, detached from childish quoting, etc. Which means actually many times devotees, used to ask my Guru Maharaj also that Maharaj, how come you are initiating devotees without, you don't give them some time to check how they are doing and all those things. Then Maharaj said, if you become perfect before even all initiation and everything, then what is my role? If I have to wait for you to become perfect, then I am just collecting people to serve me. My job is to bring you from ground zero to all the way up. I have to take you, I have to give you mercy, I have to bring you up. That is why I am a spiritual master, not to become like a bogi sannyasi, that okay, come on, you have become perfect now, you open this center, put my name only, then I will be glorified. That is not the job of a spiritual master. No, I have to take out your miseries. I have to take away your sufferings. I have to give you an opportunity to teach. So then he said, don't come in the way of spiritual master and disciple. A spiritual master knows who to initiate, how to initiate, when to initiate, all these things. You don't push in my. There are many such cases where, yes, Prabhuji, Suresh Prabhuji, you raise your.
Prabhuji,
Sorry.
my question is that Prabhupada initiated just in a day or two, and just association of one or day two, that's all. And today, for years together, people are waiting, and after Bhakti Shastri course only, they will be initiated on all that. So you just compare the situation, please. Why it is so, or
Prabhu,
it is
yeah,
like that.
see what happens now, Prabhu. I see it this way, Prabhu. Yes, today we have to wait for so long because, of course, there are many devotees coming and we have to. The movement has gone through a journey where there are a lot of people took advantage of it also, some of them in due course of time. But and as a result, the spiritual masters also had to suffer. They also had to suffer because of the indisciplined disciples. But I see it this way, Prabhu. See, now ISKCON is a worldwide organization. It's a well-known organization. Wherever you go, you are recognized by the chanting of Hare Krishna, just by your tilak. So that's all the hard work of all the devotees who have done that thing, right? Now, if you see the earnestness or the innocence in the people who are approaching is not the same as it used to be in those days. Correct or no? Yes or no? Now we come with a certain expectation, isn't it? Those days, as you read the different biographies of the various senior Vaishnavas, you will see they were just, if Prabhupada said you jump from the say seventh floor, they will jump.
Yes, yes, Prabhu. What you said is
Right?
right.
You see that those days there was no established movement. They were all like newbies, and they were struggling hard to get this whole thing done. And secondly, also Prabhupada's purity, nobody can come. Prabhupada's purity, anybody you ask, people, they will all say we are like Chitta Kana, they call, like the sun is there and sun rays are there. Each one of them may have one or more qualities of Prabhupada. But never they can say we are equal to Prabhupada in that thing. We know what happened to those who said we are equal to Prabhupada or more than whatever, right? So that way, these sages, what they are done, that is done by many of them. They bite the bullet. They take the thing. Like, see, you can see many times we see devotees give, like Jai Patak Maharaj and Gopal Krishna Maharaj. You see, they are giving initiations. and then they are letting everyone else to take ownership of of cultivating those people, because it is something. Initiation means from our side we are promising to the spiritual master that I will follow these so and so rules and all that. But that's not the end of it. When the spiritual master is giving initiation to us, diksha to us, he is promising to Krishna that I will ensure that this person comes to you. I am promising to you that I will do my best to bring this person to you. So we have two promises to keep. Like one is the Guru's promise also, and our promise also. Guru also has to follow. So they are doing their best to do whatever they can. Let it be here and there. There might be some things, but what we have to see is that we should ensure that the disciples from our side, we do our best to understand the Guru's mood, and then pray to Krishna that somehow or other we serve that way. So in course of time, that the outcome of the outcome of this surrender to Guru should be that transformation of our characters as devotees. We have to transform, just like the mercury can be converted into gold. We also can be converted into golden samples by the sincere, by the causeless mercy of the spiritual master. So here this point is very much, Prabhupada is telling this very clearly, that even before the Vedanta even the Vedanta was initiated the boy even before he became self-controlled and was detached from childish sporting, etc. So the Guru, when I asked my Guru, I said, see, I only try to look for a simple, little bit of sincerity in them. And if it is there, then I will try to be the guide. Then slowly they will grow. So once Maharaj initiated somebody in US, and there was some challenge being asked, like, we don't know if he's coming to the temple, or how do we sing. Then Maharaj didn't say anything. He kept quiet. He said that you will see in due course of time. But within 1, 2, 3 months, that devotee, so at that time he was probably in 30s maybe. He was a professor in a college, but he was not so much coming to the temple, and all. He didn't know much of this thing. But his background, because he was from Bihar, he used to write a lot of this chaupai and all those things. And to the surprise of all the temple devotees, he started giving Bhagavatam classes and writing so many thing and everything. And he hardly had 1-2 days of association with Maharaj. And now he has written the entire Bhagavatam like Ramcharitmanas. The entire Bhagavatam in like Chaupai and Doha format. He has written entire Bhagavatam in that, and he sings also beautifully those things. And it's not only the verses, purport also, he takes the essence of it and he puts them in the form of Chaupai. And he's written all 12 cantos, and he has done Upanishad, Bhagavad Gita, everything he has done. That way, he's like a Kavi, he just keeps writing. So after some time, the devotee started appreciating, glorifying this devotee. The local devotee started appreciating him. Then Maharaj said, now you understand the mercy of Guru. When he was just new, you thought that he didn't. In course of time, see how the things develop and manifest itself. But it's not our credit, but it is his sincerity that Krishna is through supplying the mercy through us. We are transparent via media. We have no credit to take. That also Maharaj told very humbly. But then he said that is the power of that surrender. Like by the surrender, you can extract maximum mercy from Krishna through that person. That is very important. But nowadays, it can't be like applied everywhere, like like blanket statement. We cannot do that, because not everybody is sincere like that. So the spiritual master is able to see that sincerity in people, and he is able to do that. When they do, say sometimes mass initiations, etc., the expectation is that we follow the basic principles first to begin with, and eventually we will get to get there as to. We cannot expect like Narada Muni, like I also should be a personal servant of Guru Maharaj. There so many people are there. How will they do that, right? So if you have to, it's because of that mood of Prabhupada that the movement has grown so big. If not for the, see, like some devotees in Bangalore, one I know one nice couple in Bangalore, they are doctors, they have a nice hospital. So the Mataji is initiated by Solar Jayapatak Maharaj. Maharaj initiated so many devotees, and you know how many thousands of disciples he has. So when Maharaj went there to Bangalore, he was sick. Last some 3-4 weeks he was sick. So in the hospital he went one day, and the whole day they were doing tests and all. So at that time Maharaj asked this devotee, Mata, whose disciple you are? Actually, she said, Maharaj, I am your disciple only. Oh, is it? Very nice. When did you get initiated and all this? Now, sometimes people will say, oh, Maharaj does not know about his own disciples. This is a common, sometimes people can give this comment. That we have seen, we have heard this many times. If you have 50,000 disciples, you cannot expect, it's a cruelty to ask your spiritual master to know, remember all our names. Like you go and ask some devotee goes and asks Guru Maharaj, Maharaj, do you know my name? I am your disciple. Can you guess my name? They have so many things to do in their life, and then we are not following all their instructions, and we are expecting them to remember. And especially when you have so many people out there, right? So one devotee was saying like this, and I told them, blank. The reason before this, I will tell you something. So this Mataji and her husband is also a doctor. They own that hospital. So when Maharaj was there in the hospital taking treatments, so they were talking, and this Mataji's husband, he is standing behind Maharaj. Okay, Maharaj is in the wheelchair, and they are doing some treatments and all. He was just standing and talking to the other doctors what to do and all those things. Very young person. So Maharaj turns to him and he says, you did the blood test for me 13 years ago in Seshadripuram temple, right? And he was like completely gone, shocked. I also don't remember when did I exactly do this test for Maharaj, and he is remembering place and what he did, and he remembers the face also among all the people. And they were shocked to the core, frankly speaking, how he can remember that. So how is it that Krishna allows him to remember this and may not be the name? So I told one simple point that, see, don't expect your guru to remember your name, because he is only concerned about your soul. He is not worried about your body, your face. He doesn't have to recognize your face and body and all those things. He should, for them, spiritual must have been spiritual. So he has to think only about your Atma. So how does it, Atma does not have a name, no? Das is the only name. All other things are whatever quality there is, Das or Das is the only name. So this is something which we have to really, appreciate. They're not, if they are in they are put a bodily consumption, with all the ailments, they will not be traveling around and doing impossible things. It's normally impossible what they are doing. Like taking 7,000 people on a yatra is not an easy thing. And you have to give classes day in and day out. It's not only this yatra, 365 days a year, they are so much occupied from morning to night in service. We are all staying outside the temple. We have the freedom to choose whenever we want to go to the temple or not. We just go. Yesterday I was listening to lecture of my Guru Maharaj. He said somebody was telling, oh, this temple devotees are like this, temple devotees are like that, and all that. Then Maharaj said to him that, okay, you come here and stay here every day, attend Mangalarti, Bhagavatam class, do some seva, and let me see how long you stay. We can't survive for more than 1 month. He said, Maharaj, this is too much for me. Early morning, getting up every day and it's very difficult, not so easy, staying in a temple environment and all that. So we can't pass on something just like that, he did like that, this person went away, that person went away. So spiritual thing is dependent on the sincerity of the disciple, first of all. Even if the guru to that extent that even if the guru is not able to, do certain things according to our wish, whatever, still Krishna will ensure that the disciple will keep progressing in his life, in his spiritual life. So we don't have to worry about the spiritual master's situation, what they are doing, what they are not doing, are they in the movement or out of the movement. All those things are not needed because Maharaj said one thing: Diksha is like marriage. You get married and then finished. That's it, and then you carry on. There is no question after that, and you are authorized after that as a servant of that starts from the day you accept the spiritual master in your heart. The external thing is only a ceremony. That is where we should be. Prabhupada saw Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur 12 years before his initiation. But he said the day I saw him, I accepted him as my spiritual master. So that ceremony that happened is more of a formality. It's what is in the heart that matters. So it doesn't matter whether you take 10 years, 12 years, 15 years, 20 years, whatever. But unflinchingly, we should be attached to the seva. That is the more important thing. Sometimes devotees aspire from one Maharaj, maybe he's passed away before giving initiation, or it takes a long time, then they get attracted to another spiritual master. Nothing wrong. They can always take diksha from say another disciple, the spiritual master, provided they had not taken earlier. If the guru is you already taken diksha, you should not take another time. But maybe you are inspired by them, aspiring from them. You can always consider them as a Siksha Guru later, even if you don't take Diksha. So, His Holiness Manu Maharaj took a very nice seminar in Pune recently when the GBC meetings were there. I'm not sure how many of you watched that. He took a Guru Tattva, I think, nightly during that time. Wonderful seminar that is. It's good to go through that, how he addressed all the practical things in our, so things grew over time, how it was. So what it was in early days and what it is now is much different. But the principles are the same though. Okay, so let's, so that is the important thing, that a guru takes ownership of the disciples' bhakti progress in the bhakti. Okay, let's read the next verse now, which is a very, very important verse. Yes, sorry, Prabhu.
Sorry to disturb you, Prabhu. Sorry, go
Yes,
ahead.
Prabhu.
So
Yes.
you said on the other side of the question, you wanted to take it up because why Narada Muni got the understand the Vedanta Tattva when he is Narada Muni. Sorry to interrupt you. You wanted to explain on that.
No, what is that? Come again?
No, Prabhu. The question in the question, first question, Narada Muni, whether Narada Muni realized the Bhakti Vedantas in his boyhood or as Narada Muni.
Potency of the Bhakti Vedantas. Yes, Prabhu.
So
Yeah.
we all
So I
mentioned
told that I
when he
think.
is realized.
Yeah, I told that I think probably you joined a little later. We said that it is a continuous process. So his thing started in this verse which you are reading now. He tells very clearly that I was attracted to them. I attracted to their qualities. So that's where the seed started. But it grew slowly and gradually, and it was fully mature when he became in his next life as an Narada. So our attraction for a spiritual personality, for a saint, is not a one-time event. It's a continuous event that happens every moment that we think about them. So our spiritual master, it's not like once in a year we are doing Vyasa Puja. We should do every day, every moment we should be doing. In other words, every moment we should be thankful and glorify the spiritual master for whatever situation we are in. And for that, we have to endeavor continuously in our process, in our bhakti mark, so that every time you endeavor, some result comes. And with that result, you will be able to thank Guru and Krishna for that. You see that? So it keeps maturing. It's not like there is no beginning point. See, there is no one pointed event that it has a beginning point, but it doesn't have an end point. You understand, Prabhu? That's what I was trying to
Yes,
explain.
Prabhu. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah. Yeah,
So
that's
maybe
where exactly you explained all this. Yeah, got
that's
it.
what I wanted to share as an additional point to
And in
our.
fact, maybe we are the examples Maharaj initiated. Even only once Maharaj met us and initiated in 2010. So we are the examples, and we are trying to continue as much as we can.
Yeah.
Yes.
There are many many such examples. Maharaj has initiated somebody in airport.
Oh yeah, yes.
Somebody in the
Thank
middle
you.
of the class he initiated. Like Maharaj is giving Bhagavatam class, and he was just giving the class, and then he said, "Now your name is so and so." And that Mataji was looking here and there. Why Maharaj is saying, I and Sudarshana were sitting next. Mataji, Maharaj has initiated you. Oh, he said, I didn't know. And then immediately she
Yeah.
made her face.
Earlier you were mentioning that is Sharda Mataji.
Yeah, Sharada Mataji. So the next day only the yajna happened. Yajna happened after the name was given. So there are a lot of funny thing. Prabhupada has done that. Prabhupada has initiated people over letter. He has initiated people over phone. So the thing is, the seed of bhakti should be sown. In what way it is sown, it doesn't matter. That is immaterial. You understand? How the seed of bhakti is sown into the heart of the disciple. That is more important. And many cases it happens even after the departure of the spiritual master. Of course, like we are inspired by Prabhupada. Prabhupada is our, at the end of the day, ultimate Shiksha Guru for all of us. Now we are reading his words only. So he's even now he's initiating all of us in the form of Shiksha, of course. Right? So thank you, Prabhu.
Read the verse.
Yes, Prabhu.
I will read the verse.
Yeah, I was going to ask someone else to do. Yes, Prabhu, please.
उच्छिष्टलेपा अनुमोदितो द्विजै सत्कृष्ण भुञ्जे तदपास्त किल्बिषः एवं प्रवृतस्य विशुद्धचेतसा तद्धर्म एवात्मरुचि प्रजायते.
Let's read the word for word.
Uchishta lepan, the remnants of foodstuff, anumodita, being permitted, dvijay, by the Vedantist Brahmanas, Sakruta, once upon a time, Sma, in the past, Bunje, took, Tat, by that action, Apasta, eliminated, Kilbisha, all sins, Evam, thus, Pravrittasya, being engaged, Vishuddha Chetasaha, one of one whose mind is purified. Tat, that particular, Dharmaha, nature, Eva, certainly, Atma Ruchi, transcendental attraction, Prajayate, was manifested.
Thank you. Very nice. Now, before we go to the translation, one point I forgot to mention in that how we keep nurturing our devotional service continuously. No, one thing is to appreciate the Guru's causeless mercy. Correct. The second is that I need to do something to him. I don't deserve this thing. I've got more than what I deserved. But for that, I need to do something in return to him. That hankering must be there. I have not done enough. That hankering should always be there. Only then it will go. It will be. It will stay ever fresh. If I start thinking that oh, I'm doing so much, Guru is not reciprocating, then that is a very dangerous path to go. You should always understand this thing that um, when you are doing service, the Guru and Krishna they take note of it. In fact, first you will see that okay, I'm doing this service, but I'm sure that conviction must be there that the Guru and Krishna are accepting it. But then as we mature more and more, you will realize that it is they only who are giving me the strength to do this service also. It is they only who are inspiring me to think of doing some service also. So what can I do to serve them? How can I offer them realistically some seva? I haven't done any service at all yet to them. So with that mood, it's not a despondency mood. I'm not talking about in a discouraging mode, a despondent way. No. What I'm saying is more from a point of view of the eagerness to serve more. Like I have to do more. How much he has given? How much he has given? I've not done much at all. If we have this thing nurturing, carrying on in our life more and more and more, then our devotional service will flow without any stoppage. And he chastises also. We will be. Think this is for my correction. Is giving this for correcting me. He is doing this. How merciful is my Guru that he is taking this pain to correct me. I should not give him any more inconvenience by acting, by freaking out, acting in the wrong way. So I should correct myself. When you read this book of Giriraj Maharaj, you will see that many times, because Maharaj's mood is always that he is very humble and very meek in nature. So whenever Prabhupada chastises, it goes too deep in his heart. It has to go deep. Otherwise, we are not disciples at all. It should pain us, not that the Guru has chastised us, but I have acted in such a way to displease my Guru. I should not have done it. How, I mean, imperfect I am. How he, what do you call this? How I am very careless in my service. We should try that way. We think we will become more, refined in our thinking and our service. So that is an important point to note as a disciple, that we should always be feeling that I have not done enough, I have not done. We always think that Guru has not done enough, I have done so much, Guru has not done enough. So that is a problem there. We say that how come Guru can do like this? All that stuff we start thinking that doesn't work. Okay. So yeah, let's read the translation.
Once only by their permission, I took the remnants of their food, and by doing all my sins were at once eradicated. Thus, being engaged, I became purified in heart, and at that time, the very nature of the transcendentalist became attractive to me.
This is the starting point. They are giving the mercy, right? So see the power of Mahaprasadam. By their permission, he took Mahaprasadam, but he didn't know its power. He didn't know the power of the Mahaprasadam. He took the Mahaprasadam from the thali, and all the sins are immediately eradicated. The past sins, of course. Thus being engaged. Now, thus being engaged means now the sins are gone. Now his engagement is more pure. I became purified at heart, right? So when we take their Mahaprasadam of the great Vaishnavas, it is not only the prasadam in terms of the eating prasadam. It is the Bhakta Pada Dhala, Pada Jala, Bhakta Pada Duri, Bhakta Bhukta Avashesh. Three things. No, that's why we take the dust from the Braja and all. Why? Because all the devotees have walked for so many thousands of years that dust will purify our heart, right? Bhakta Pada Duhi, Bhakta Pada Jala, the water that has washed the feet of the Vaishnavas, and then the Bhakta Avashesh, that remains of their prasada, what they have taken Mahaprasad. All these things will immediately eradicate all our sins, past sins. So that's where Bhagavad Gita verse is there. No, Yesham tu antagatam papam. Jananam 7.28. Jananam punya karmana. Te dvandva moha nirmukta bhajante mam dridhavrataha. It's a sequence here. First is Yesham tu antagatam papam. Those whose sins have become nullified. It has become zero. Antagatam papam. All the papam has become anta, completely eradicated. Jananam punya karmanam. Only then, after that, they are doing punya karma. Their punya karma will be realized only after all our papa thing is gone. Otherwise, it will be always mixed. Right? So yesham tu antagatam papam jananam punya karmanam, in the association of devotees, as Suresh was right to saying. And there is the starting point. Te dvandva moha nirmukta. They will not see two things. They will see only Krishna. Dvandva moha means they are seeing Krishna here, Maya here, and they get absorbed in the Maya. Moha. Dvandva moha. They are this dvandva and moha, seeing two things and being in illusion. Nirmukta. They are relieved from it. Only when we are relieved from these things, this moha and dvandva thing, bhajante mam dadavrata, we can do devotional service with full determination. Otherwise, our system will be choppy. Like some days here, some days there, some days few rounds, some days you go for a yatra and you are elated. Some days you go to temple, you become elated. Other days you become, oh my God, I don't have any inspiration to chant today. I don't have any inspiration to do service. So that kind of a choppy ride will not be there. It will be a consistent ride, like how the river flows. That is possible only when the papam is all gone. So the antagatam papam is possible with this thing, just by taking Mahaprasadam, eradicated immediately. So here one other important point is there, that by permission, with that permission only he took. So I asked once, known as Ganapati Maharaj, whom when I was in the USA, asked, Maharajis, should we always take only with the permission of the devotees? Then Maharaj looked at me, smiled, and he said, "No, you can for that you can steal, you can steal Mahaprasadam." And he gave the example of Kalidas in Chaitanya Charitamrita. He said what he used to do. Yes, Grahastha used to stay at home and he will invite saints to their home, to his home. They will come and he will feed them enough prasadam, nicely sumptuous prasadam. And after taking prasadam, they will throw the leaf in the nearby the dustbin, and then they go away. And after he'll say till they cross the street corner and they disappear. Then he will jump into the dustbin and take the Mahaprasadam, and then he will honor it. So he said that even if they had not given the permission, this does not mean that when the prasadam, when the person is honoring prasadam and about to eat, you snatch that plate from him. We do these kind of games, It's not a game, it's a life and death situation in our devotional service. So we should never be like make a mockery of this process. Like without permission means not enough. And why without permission? Because here the Vedanta Vadis were kind enough to give their Mahaprasadam to Narad Muni. But not all of them will be kind enough to give that, because when why? Because in a humble way, they don't accept themselves as devotees. So what they feel is that when someone else takes their Mahaprasadam or take their dust and all that, they are taking their sins. The devotees feel that the others are taking their sins into their karma, into their life, which they don't want to happen. They don't want to inconvenience others. That is their humility. Out of that humility only, they don't give the Mahaprasadam. So we should not go and fight. Hey, come on, if you don't give me your Mahaprasadam, I will beat you. Radhanath Maharaj once said very nicely, these our devotees are so mad after, he was telling this in Bombay, devotees are so mad after this Bhakta Pada Jala, Pada Duli and all, that if they ask and the devotees don't give, then they fight with the devotees, break the legs, take it and dip it in the water and then drink that water, or put it in the dust and then take the dust on their head. They don't care whether that person goes with is devoid of legs, but I want the mercy. He was telling that in a lighter vein, but we are not supposed to do that, is what his intended point was. That's not like a game thing that we are playing around here. So here, that is a very important thing, that it shows the meekness meek nature of Narad Muni. He said, well, if they allow, then you take. Because one thing is that he does not even know the importance, first of all. They told that, come on, you take this. He was just standing there probably and say waiting to serve. But the sages were thinking that, oh, this boy is a nice boy. Okay, let's give him. So here also he's again telling that I didn't know anything. I was just standing there. I was just doing some service. I didn't even know that I'm doing devotional service, cleaning the place and washing their plates and all those things. I never knew that it was devotional service. But now we have come to know that, hey, this is our devotional service. So we want to do it, but with the expectation of getting mercy. You see the difference? So Krishna likes it when we do it innocently, without any expectation of rewards. That's why Narada Muni got immediate. Now we may, that's the answer for our question. Oh, Narada Muni took only once Mahaprasadam. I am taking Mahaprasadam for so many years, but I am not getting this bhakti. Why? Because the expectation is there in us. We know that this process is like this. So if I take Mahaprasadam, it should improve my devotion. It should improve my devotional service. It has to. Then if it does not improve, then you put the blame on the Mahaprasadam. I say, well, maybe the devotee is Mahaprasadam who took that. He is not a very elevated devotee. So that's why it did not work for me. That's problem is not the devotee's nature. That's problem is because of my expectation. I'm going with the expectation that I need this fruity mentality, basically. Right? That should be avoided. Sorry, Suresh Prabhu, you are raising your hands for a while.
Prabhuji, this actually Uchishta and the dust of lotus feet is actually the Vani Seva, isn't it? It is what is their teaching, that is what we have to absorb it. Not the physical dust or the physical Uchishta.
But everybody will get the physical, not everybody will get the physical chance to take the dust of the Guru. If you can't take the dust of the Gurus or the devotees, go to any of the dhams, and I mean, wherever you go, you just take the dust, and that is they have walked all these places. Like Uddhava was not asking for specifically for the dust from anyone, because he knew if he asked for the dust, they will not give. So what did he do? He after they all left, he rolled on the floor of the gopis where they were standing, and then he said, "Let me be born as a what is that? As a small bush." Gulmalata, Radhesham Prabhu likes this verse very much. Gulmalata means those in the bushes, and also small flowers will be grown in the forest, in the ground. Like that, anywhere it will be there. So he wants her to be in the at least I should be born as a thing, so that the gopis, whenever they walk, they can trample on me, and then they will give me their mercy. So that point is very good, Prabhu, because it should be a wider perspective. It's not just simply dust alone. Like it means that he wants to keep on singing their glories. That's what he wanted to do. By doing that, he will get their mercy like that. So let's read further. We need to do the purport, no? So first step is he taking Mahaprasad. Next is as a result of that, his sins were eradicated. When the sins were eradicated, he was engaged in his engagement in the service got even more purified. And then when the service he was able to do it more purified, means with more eagerness, basically with more earnestness that he is doing the service. And as a result, his heart is purified. That's where the transformation happens. In the service we do with eagerness. And when the heart is transformed into bhakti, then he is appreciating their glories. Now, if I sit down and see, like say about 25-30 years ago, when I was sitting in Bhagavatam classes, I would, beginning days I'm talking about, I would start looking at the watch after 45 minutes or an hour. I used to do that when the Kirtan means okay, but then now class means they are discussing like this. They were discussing. I couldn't understand ABCD of what they were talking about. So I thought, oh my God, it should get over. When will I get prasadam otherwise? I will be thinking of my 40 miles I have to ride and all that. Then within 6 months, I was just engaged in the service. Even with all these contaminated consciousness. But because of the mercy of the gurus, of the Vaishnavas, senior Vaishnavas, very soon I started getting the taste and I started reading more and more and more. I was enjoying it more, Bhagavatam, enjoying the seva, enjoying each of the thing, sitting with devotees and discussing this, and started enjoying. And then I could see how much they were enjoying. They were the glories of the glorious qualities of the saints. You see. So when we ourselves get engaged in the Bhakti Marga, we will enjoy the Bhakti Marga, and then we will also appreciate the glorious qualities of the Vaishnavas. Now we are able to appreciate Narada Muni's qualities. We are able to appreciate Vyasadeva's qualities. Why? Because we are engaging in devotional service. Their mercy is there. So in order to appreciate their mercy, also their mercy is required.
Prabhu, can you repeat this, Prabhu? I couldn't that one. In order to appreciate them also, we need their
in order to appreciate their mercy also, we need their mercy.
Haribol.
P.S. Prabhu has put this to that that sloka 1047-61 in the chat, which I told you just about Uddhava. Okay, let's go further. We haven't read the purport. Let's at least read this purport now. Can somebody read it? Purport? Anybody want to read it?
May I, Prabhuji?
Please, Prabhu, waiting for you.
It is not
Pure devotion. Pure devotion is as much infectious. Rajesh Prabhu, I think it looks like it's a bit bigger in size. It's not within the screen. Yes, slowly. Yes.
Yes. Pure devotion is as much infectious as infectious in a good sense as infectious disease. A pure devotee is cleared from all kinds of sins. The personality of Godhead is the purest entity, and unless one is equally pure from the infection of material qualities, one cannot become a pure devotee of the Lord. The Bhakti Vedantas, as above mentioned, were pure devotees, and the boy became infected with their qualities of purity by their association and by eating once the remnants of the foodstuff taken by them. Such remnants may be taken even without permission of the pure devotee.
Prabhupada is clarifying that point which we discussed just now about that Kalidas. No? Here, while the verse says Narada Muni took it with permission, Prabhupada makes it clear that you can take it without the permission also. In other words, you are so much you hanker for it that you can take it when they are not, maybe after they are done, of course. Yes, Prabhu, please.
There are sometimes pseudo devotees.
And one more thing, one more thing, Prabhu. Many times nowadays also we see devotees coming around after the class, after the Bhagavatam class and Prasadam is over. Some devotees will come and give, Prabhu, this is Maha from Maharaj, this Prabhu, whatever they give, right? So it is important to take it, whatever little we can take. We should not hesitate. It's important. And second thing is, we should not be careless about it also. That is. Please proceed, bro.
There are sometimes pseudo devotees. One should be very much cautious about them.
This is pseudo devotees can be on both sides. One is, somebody may be pseudo devotee and you want to take your Maha. I mean, that is also not, I think we should be careful about that. You can't take from anybody and everybody's thing also, because when we are taking the prasadam, it means we are taking their karma also. No? So we should be very particular about whom thing we are taking. And from our side also, we should not be a pseudo devotee. We should not just for outer sake, we are just saying, oh, Maha, and then we are offending that devotee or criticizing that devotee whose Maha only we have taken. So we don't have to. Sometimes people do these things, Krishna does not like this kind of duplicity. We have to be careful about that. Yes, please proceed, Prabhu.
There are many things which hinder one from entering devotional service, but by the association of pure devotees, all these obstacles are removed.
So we
The
should be
neophyte
looking for association of the pure devotees mainly. Prabhupada says there's so many hindrances. Like you, like say somebody will say, "Oh, you took maha of this person, he so and so, this, that, etc." Then you will become confused. So we should be very. We may go around with anybody, say Hare Krishna and all that, but the more time you're spending a serious service that which you are doing, we should do it with sincere devotees, sincere devotees. By association of pure devotees, all these obstacles are removed. That is very important. Yes, Prabhu, please.
The neophyte devotee becomes practically enriched with the transcendental qualities of the pure devotee, which means attraction for the personality of Godhead's name, fame, qualities, pastimes, etc. Infection of the qualities of the
So
pure
what does that
devotee
mean?
means
This is very interesting. See how Prabhupada is saying. When you're taking that Mahaprasadam, what happens? You actually we get infected with their qualities, transcendental qualities. Prabhupada using this word infected, but infected means to that extent we cannot get rid of it. That much it comes into our body or in our soul, in our heart. So the transcendental qualities of the pure devotees what? Means attraction for the Lord's name, fame, quality, possibilities. So we will also start getting attraction to Bhagavatam for Lord's name, Bhagavad Gita for services, etc. You see, that's what happens as consequence. Yes, Prabhuji.
infection of the qualities of the pure devotee means to imbibe the taste of pure devotion always in the transcendental activities of the personality of Godhead.
This line is beautiful line. Can you read that again, please?
Infection of the qualities of the pure devotee means to imbibe the taste of pure devotion always in the transcendental activities of the personality of Godhead.
Yes, so that is what this infection means. That infection means imbibing the taste of pure devotion always. That's all. We always want pure devotion. Like we don't want to be a hypocrite or we will have limitations, but we will accept our limitations and try to fix it to the best of our ability. By practicing again, bhakti again and again. That's the only process anyway for a solution for all problems. Yes, Prabhuji.
This transcendental taste at once makes all material things distasteful.
This line is this is the symptom of whether we have got transcendental taste or not. What is that? When material things becomes distasteful, that's when we can understand that genuinely distasteful. We are detached from it. We just hate it. Whatever we are doing, that one only. So then it means the infection is working. Just like when we become infected with jaundice, the sugar candy also becomes bitter. No, it's like that.
Therefore,
Yes.
a pure devotee is not at all attracted by material activities. After the elimination of all sins or obstacles on the path of devotional service, one can become attracted. One can have steadiness, and one can have perfect taste. One can have transcendental emotions, and
So
at last, one can.
this is all step by step. It is coming. What can someone tell? What are the step by step things? Prabhupada is actually paraphrasing this in which we all know.
Yes,
Adho Shraddha. In that, he is talking about Ruchi, Nishta, Bhava, and Prema. The last four of that thing. So after the elimination of all sins or obstacles on the path of devotional service means in the first for Anartha Nivritti time and all the sins are getting removed. Bhajana Kriya, Anartha Nivritti, Sadhu Sangha. During this period, our sins are getting removed, getting destroyed. When we come to the stage of Ruchi, Bhava, Prema and all, Nishta, Bhava, Prema and all, in those phases, sins are almost nil. There is hardly any there. In other words, we go to that phase only when the sins are almost completely zero. There may be some traces, but it should be almost zero. Okay. Yes, Prabhuji.
All the sins, obstacles on the path of devotion, one can become attracted, one can have steadiness, one can have perfect taste, one can have transcendental emotions, and at last one can be situated on the plane of loving service of the Lord.
This last is the Krishna Prema.
All these, yes, sir. All these stages developed by the association of pure devotees, and that is the purport of this stanza.
Association of pure devotees. Yes, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, as you said, we can take revenant. Generally, it is just, like suppose what I have heard is that suppose some Guru Maharaj is coming and we serve him and give them prasadam, and after when he is leaving, he says that please make sure that this Mahaprasad is given to only my initiated devotees, not to normal. Generally, this is. So in that case, that Mahaprasadam is to be given to only, suppose in case I am a disciple of His Holiness Kalacakra Kṛṣṇa Maharaj Ji, and he visited temple, and then after visiting temple and when he is leaving back, then that prasadam is distributed to the disciple of His Holiness Kalacakra Kṛṣṇa Maharaj Ji, and it is the person who is distributing, he is ensuring that a non-initiated devotee should not get it. So what is the situation in that case?
And that is Maharaj's instruction, so there is nothing wrong in following that. Maybe Maharaj might be telling that to ensure that, the reason he might be saying that, I'm just guessing, is that others might not have had his association, isn't it? So much. So they may not have that. See, when we are taking these things, no, we should have some reverence, or at least this doubt should not be there. Oh, why should I take this? And those kind of things should not be there. You got it? When Narada Muni was taking, he had no doubts. He may not have known about the what you call their greatness and all, but he was not. I mean, they are telling, and he just accepted it. That way, it is possible to get the mercy. But if you, why should I take from him? I'm not a senior. That discrimination when we have, no, there are many people who will have such discriminations. So Maharaj maybe is a bit careful that not to may create any. It's like it's not an offense, but it's more like a bit of uneasy situation for the devotee also, right? So Maharaj is humble enough to say that way. That's how I see it. So we should just respect Maharaj's words. That's all. He knows better with all these years of practices. Many of them would not even allow devotees to wash their feet. I have seen Banu Maharaj and all, you never allow devotees to wash his feet. So say just straight go into the class, give class, and before even they do anything, you will just push away. Push off. But sometimes it happens. And in one case, what happened? This happened in New Zealand when my Guru Maharaj was giving classes there, for some time. So one devotee was there, very respectful, though he might not be Maharaj, initiated by Maharaj, he was very much a Shiksha. He was considering Maharaj as a Shiksha Guru. So he had a program at his home. And he was preaching to one local New Zealander. This Prabhuji is a Chinese, but he is a local New Zealander devotee. Sorry, he's not a devotee, but just more like a colleague. So he came and he will always argue with this devotee, the Chinese devotee, on say these subject matters. So he would try to explain, nothing will work. He will put more and more points which he was not able to convince. So one day this program was happening, and then he said, okay, you stay for a little more time when Sadhu is coming. You can just see him, take his darshan and go. Just meet him and go. So Maharaj came and they did the Pada Seva, that they were washing his feet. And after that, Maharaj went to the program. This person was waiting outside to say bye and go. So this Prabhuji, what he did, the Chinese devotee that he did, he took that water, and then this person was saying, I'm feeling a bit thirsty, can you get some water? So he went inside, a big pot of water was there, and he mixed this washed water into that. And then he brought one glass of water to this person. He didn't tell him that it was Maharaj's thing. Otherwise, it's like in those countries and all, they consider it as a, it's a big mistake. We can't do that. Big offense it is. Criminal offense also, they will say you are giving the dirt and putting in the hair and all that thing they will do, So he didn't tell any of those things, and he just went and gave this thing. And that person went away. And after a few weeks or so, he started coming to the program with a bit more inquisitiveness, and then started chanting, and then he became a very sincere devotee. And within a year, he became very sincere devotee. And then later he said, this person asked this devotee, it's a Chinese devotee, that how come 1 year ago I was arguing with you. I never thought I will take this so seriously. Now I am taking it to, I'm not able to give it up at all. Then he told the secret. That day, if I told you would not have drunk, that day when you came, I gave this padajal of this saint. So that's why you are you are a devotee now. So just thought I'd share this also. He told that when he came to meet, when we saw him in Singapore or somewhere, we saw him. So he told this thing. So that's the power, Many places it happens, these things. We at least throw the water, sprinkle water on everybody's head. If not, they can't drink, so at least even this thing. And every day we go to the temple, we take the Charanamrita, no? That is also Jala only. Whatever is being Abhishek, that Charanamrita, we take it. So that is also very important to take for progress in our direction. Thank you, Prabhu. So that's, I hope that clears your question. Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji, I clear, and I have got the understanding that important thing is that we have to be very much conscious and convinced that this Abhishek which we are taking, Charanamrit which we are taking, it is very much potent, right?
Yes, we also should be convinced about it.
Generally, we take it as just like routine activity, like we are doing Charanamrit. Now Guru Puja is finished, so now take the Charanamrit and move out. But the main thing is our conviction about it.
Yeah, that's what happens when we do it in a routine way, more like ritual we will do. It becomes a ritual. Like, okay, I'm just taking water. What should it be? But then we will realize that the very fact that we are sustaining in devotional service for a little bit longer, that is because of all these things that we are doing. So that is why it's very important to appreciate these things time and again. The small things that we are doing. It's very important to. While we are walking to the temple, we say, okay, I can worship Krishna from home only. But if you go to the temple, we can take the dust of all the devotees. Right? All the devotees are moving about. We can do Alingan, we can just hug. Where will you get a nice, loving people around? Right? And then you go to the temple, even if we walk, we are walking, it is the dust is all touching our body. That way we are, and we pay obeisance, it is touching our head. Right? And if you do the broom sweeping service, we get all the dust together. You can roll on it after you want. You take the dust, keep it aside, and then just roll on it how much ever you want. But I mean to say, it's not a physical activity that we are talking about. It's the respect that we are giving for that dust. Dust is means Krishna himself says that dust of the pure devotee purifies me. In Bhagavatam he says, Nirapeksha munim shantam nirvairam samadarshanam anubrajami aham nityam puyayati angri renupi. He says, I am following my pure devotees so closely so that the dust from their feet will come and touch my body and I become purified. How much more it must be. And Vishnu himself says in 3:16:7, he says, the very fact that I am a Vishnu and I am able to destroy everybody's sins is because I take the dust, what is it? Yatsya vaya charana padma pavitra renu. He says, by my devotees' dust I am taking and putting it on my head. That is why I am able to destroy the sins of all the universe, all the living entities everywhere. Otherwise, I don't have any capacity, he says. This Vishnu himself is told. So how much more powerful the dust of the lotus feet of the devotee is. That's how we should. That's where Bhagavatam helps us, Prabhu. Simply say, oh, take the dust, you will become devotee. Take the dust, you will become devotee. We will not get any idea. But when you see in Bhagavatam these slokas where Krishna himself is glorifying, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself is glorifying the potency of the dust of the lotus feet of devotees, then we will get that thing more conviction will be there. That's where all these pastimes and all the shastras, these discussions, this is very helpful. Right, Prabhu? Anything else, Prabhu? If not, Wish you all a very, very happy Diwali. Yes, Revati Mataji.
Actually, I have one doubt, Prabhuji.
Hmm.
Regarding initiation. After initiation, they'll do yajna, Prabhuji.
Correct.
Any significance for that? Like any or like, I mean, any significance of it, or when we get initiated, we should do yajna. It is a process like that, Prabhuji, or
See, in marriage we are doing that, no?
yes, Prabhuji.
Yajna, we do that, no? The fire sacrifice, where they are putting all these different paraphernalias, and then they chant the mantras, and then they are doing this, right? So then you are bound for lifelong, isn't it?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So it is somewhat like that. Somewhat, it's more, even more than that. If you are bound forever with that spiritual master. That's what it means.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Because we do it with in the presence of the witness of the Agni. That actually, excuse me, actually, we are in marriages these days. People don't understand. The mantra means that I will not leave you, or you will also not leave me in the most difficult times. Also, that is not the thing that people say, because it is told in Sanskrit, and people are only worried about getting the gifts and the next thing of seeding prasadam and all that. They don't understand what are they themselves have committed to in the mantra. So that's why Prabhupada, when he was conducting marriages, people, he translated all those things into English. He says all the statements are there, that I will never leave you. I will always make sure that we are doing Krishna conscious activities, etc., etc. Those things and all, he has written it. Okay. So with the Guru also, we are taking promise that I will follow these principles. I will chant my 16 rounds. I will fulfill my vows at any cost. These are all the vows we are doing. So we are taking. So that we are doing it in the, we call it as the, in the witness, Agni is the witness. So this should go on till our body is put into Agni. Till that point, Agni is watching. Because every day, our food cannot come without Agni, isn't it? Our food will not get digested without a presence of Agni. Aham Vaishwanaro Bhutva Praninam Deham Harshitaha Prana Pana Samantaha Pachaminam Satridam says no. So the sun is, that Agni is there in the sun also, and in the moon also. Everywhere the Agni is there. Without Agni, I said, Na Niragnir Na Chatriyaha, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, no, that you cannot do any work without lighting fire. So that's why fire is always an important presence in all kinds of sacrifices or commitments that we take in life.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Now you have
thank you,
committed in front of Agni, so make sure you follow. Just 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, Mataji got initiated, I think. 1 month, huh?
1 month, Prabhuji.
Yeah, 1 month. Okay. We are there, and more importantly, we were also there. So even if Agni forgets, we will not forget. We'll keep on remembering. She is from Infosys, Prabhu. Earlier, she used to be in Infosys. We used to do Bhagavad Gita together, or classes in the lunchtime. So now Mataji is initiated as Revati Nanda Sevini. So she is very simple-hearted. A lot of questions she has, and now that she has nowhere to go, now you are bound up. So you have to follow things as strictly. Maharaj will help, don't worry. And devotees are always there. We'll always help each other better.
Prabhuji, from yesterday evening, you asked to remind 2 things.
Yes, Prabhu. Too late it is now. I don't know if it is possible to wait. Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu. Sorry, who is this? Oh, yes, that's why I'm wondering. I know you are Sanjay Panikar. Yes. Yes, Prabhuji, go ahead.
Prabhu, one Mataji is there. She's having a question, so she wants to ask this question, please.
Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Dandavat Pranam, Mataji. You know who is this?
Yeah, I'm Vijayeshwari Radhanandi. in
Okay.
Shyamlesh.
Yes, yes,
And,
Mataji.
we with
Yes,
this Prabhu now.
Yes.
we are having our-
Yes,
So Prabhu,
Mataji.
just I want to, I hear your lecture, it is very nice to understand.
Hmm.
So once you attain the Bhava stage,
Hmm.
you told that all the Papa will go and then they will become a pure devotee.
Hmm.
My understanding is correct, Prabhu?
What is that? When once Bhava?
Bhava stage, when that all another
Yeah, they're in Bhava stage. Okay. After
Bhava
that?
stage comes, they are all become a pure devotee. My
Correct.
understanding
They're
is
almost
correct?
one step before Prema. Correct. Yes.
Okay, even Prema Bhakti, they attained. They are very pure now.
Yeah.
Okay, so all
Hmm.
we assume that all Maharajas are in that stage, so they are all blessing us. We are all under the guidance of them.
Okay.
Prabhupada mercy. So
Correct.
my question is here. So once I attain that Prema Bhakti and everything, after that, they are also suffering like a normal people and hospitalized and going in the hospital. And then they are leaving the body in the hospital. How we can understand? We are a normal person, they are suffering in the hospital and they are leaving the body. But the pure devotees, Prema Bhakti also, people we are seeing that they are having a pure devotional service, Maharajas leaving the body in the hospital.
Hmm.
How we can understand, Prabhu? They are
No,
suffering.
but my question is, what is wrong in leaving the body in the hospital? The first point is, first point is, we are thinking that they are suffering. The first point is that their suffering is because of our sins, the disciples' sins, I mean. Okay, if the disciples were not freaking out, or they are not becoming too callous means careless and callous, about their seva, it will not affect the body of the. My Guru Maharaj used to say many times that you are not chanting and my digestion stops. He would say, at the age of 90, why I should suffer? You people chant properly. That's all I am asking you to do. When you are not doing devotional service, then naturally it affects the spiritual master. But the thing is, their devotional service does not get affected. Their body may be going through some things here and there. As I told you just before, I don't know if you, when did you join, but I told you here about just recently. This was Jayavadak Maharaj was he is suffering thing, but bodily wise it's a very great suffering. Oxygen saturation, asthma, this problem, that problem, so many things. This surgery, that surgery, so many things are happening. But he is always on the transcendental platform. That is why night 2 o'clock also. He sleeps only for 2 hours. Time 2 o'clock he sleeps, and 4 o'clock he gets up, and he is asking for the clicker from the devotees, and he keeps chanting in the clicker in the night also. He looks like he's sleeping, but the tuck tuck tuck, that clicker sound is going on. So if a person is suffering, how can he chant like this? And I have seen Gopal Krishna Maharaj last year around the same time. He came to Srirangam after this Rameshwaram trip and all. And he, he was like, he can't even walk. It's so difficult for him to walk. But he forced himself to every place he was bending down and paying obeisances. Every single place. And we said, Maharaj, you cannot climb up the stairs. He said, no, I want to see Narsinghadev Bhagavan. And you went up, climbed up the stairs only to see Narsinghadev. And there also people said, oh, this is that flag thing you have to pay obeisance. Immediately Maharaj, with so much difficulty he was doing that. But you have to understand one thing, that it's the body that is suffering. They are not on the bodily platform. They are on the spiritual platform. Right? So there is no suffering there actually.
I can understand. So you are talking about the Maharaja's consciousness.
Correct.
My point is, I can understand. So I'm also Jayapataka Swami Maharaj's disciple. So I can understand that. But even then, Prabhu, my point is, after attaining the Prema stage, why Krishna made them like that? Their Bhava, I can understand.
It is the choice. No. It is a choice between the Guru and Krishna. We don't have any semblance of entrance into that. What is there between them? They choose that way. They choose that way. My Guru Maharaj left his body in the Bhaktivedanta hospital. When he went there, devotees were asking, Maharaj, are you a patient? Because he was preaching. And he said, see, these disciples, they feel bad if I want to leave my body just like that in wherever I am. I don't wherever I am. If I am remembering Krishna, it is Vrindavan. Okay, but my disciples are feeling bad that I should take some treatment. But I know what my treatment is. My treatment is Hare Krishna, holy name, Bhagavatam, and devotee association. These two things I have, Bhagavatam and holy name I have. But when they said, Maharaj, we have to go to some hospital, then I said, okay, I will take Bhaktivedanta hospital because that there every day devotees will be there. Every day they bring Jagannath for darshan. So at least that way I will think. And when devotee doctors are trying to take blood from Maharaj's body, he said, no, I never gave blood to anybody in my I gave very few times only I gave blood for blood test because I don't believe in all these things. Then they said, Maharaj, without doing this test, how will you be cured? He said, my only cure is holy name and devotee association. I have come here for your association. So if you want, you come here, sit with me. I will speak Bhagavatam. That is all I want. That's the reason I came. I am just staying in a corner in this room. Please don't disturb me with all these tests. That's all I want. So if whatever little time left with me, I will just use this. He said, this is Vrindavan. He said, this is
Mahavishnu
so,
Swami Maharaj.
yeah.
Okay.
So he said, as long as there is devotee association here, this place is Vrindavan. He said. He said about Bhaktivedanta hospital themselves. So
Correct
we have to
explaining.
we have to understand this thing more clearly. That if at all they are suffering. One devotee asked me that why Maharaj is suffering like this. I said, Prabhu, it is because of our sins only. When Jayapatak Maharaj was going through the stroke and all, one of the one of the God brothers from the Jayapatak Maharaj disciple, he asked me that Prabhu, why is Maharaj going through these kind of pains? I told him, yes, we are. But why can't they get cured? Why Krishna is letting them go through these kind of things? I'm not sure if it is there in the Shastras, but I told one thing which he was convinced after I told that. I told him that it is to show that your time is also coming there soon and you will suffer more than this. Just I want to show you this is so you will also suffer. At least I am doing devotional service and my suffering is less. If you don't do devotional service, your suffering will be even worse than this. So we want everything in our wish. We want in front of our eyes. No, that's all happens. He immediately got convinced. Yes, Prabhu, I should chant more clearly, at least for myself. So even after initiation, we want to chant only for our benefit, not for Guru's benefit. So it's okay, at least chant somehow or other chant. You see.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. It's very convincing answer.
Thank you.
Prabhupada refused to take any medication in his last days.
Yeah, he said that. He said that. He said, I don't want any medication. Especially you read that last pastimes, the final pastimes of Prabhupada. He said, the holy name is my only medicine. There is no other medicine I want. Just chant bhajans. Just give me that thing. I'm not able to chant myself. At least you chant. That is all I want. I just want to go that way. And the Kaviraj was telling that for his skin is touching the bones. There's no muscles in between. And for this situation, a person should be screaming out so loudly out of pain that people standing 100 meters away also should be able to hear. And this person is very calmly translating the books. I know that he is not this body, and that's 100% convinced. Kaviraj was trying to treat Prabhupada. So this is glorious examples we have right in front of us, And Jayapatak Maharaj, he himself is in the hospital, and when my mother was going through bypass surgery, he was sending a letter to us. Of course, we conveyed this to him, and he sent a letter and told that I am chanting for you. And he was telling the personal disciples that anybody who of my friends or anybody, not only my disciples, anybody who is suffering, send their name and details to me. I will chant for them. And he is going through surgery himself. So that connectivity with the Guru, heart to heart connectivity is very important. That's what I wanted to say. I think we'll stop here. Thank you so much for that wonderful question, Mataji. Thank you for joining also. And wish you all a very, very happy Diwali and Lord Ram's wonderful arrival in Ayodhya Krishna, so many pastimes, Damodar pastime, Krishna killing this Narakasura or whatever, so many other pastimes have happened. So let's all celebrate this for the pleasure of the Lord, bring the Lord into our hearts. Thank you so much. Wish you all a very happy Diwali, and Krishna willing, we will continue again in the maybe coming week. Thank you so much. Dandavat pranams. Hare Krishna. Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Gurudev ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande. Hari Hari. Krishna Kripa
Hare
Sindhu
Krishna.
Krishna
Thank you so much.
Koti Vaishnava ki jai. Thank you so much, Prabhu Smati ji. Hare Krishna.